What's up, everybody? Today we are going over this past weekend's UFC fight card, UFC Charlotte, and I'm gonna give you guys a little update on that $500 giveaway challenge. Let's do this damn thing. All right, this past week we played the rare contest as well as the core contest. The winning lineup for the rare contest scored 596 points. At their captain spot was Brian Battle. He did get that quick win bonus. Again, remember, guys, if the fighter finishes his opponent within the first minute, they get that quick win bonus, which is a lot of points here. Gabe Green came out like a banshee with his chin up, rushed him like a mad fool. Brian Battle took advantage of it and put his lights out. So, very good fighter, top scoring fighter on the slate. How much did he score? Yes, 126 points. So if you had him as your captain spot, then congrats. Ian Gary was the second slot. He defeated no slouch here, Rodriguez, a good feather in Gary's cap. He's seeming to be the real deal here. He's finished them in the first round, scoring 109 points. Carlos Olberg, so glad to see him doing well. The very decorated and talented Carlos Olberg put away Potiera. I don't know how well that win is on his record. He's gonna. I see him fighting a Potiera competition. It's gonna be very exciting to see him how he evolves. Got that first round knockout, scoring 105 points. Alex Morono. He's on a streak here, even though, no, did he lose against Ponzinibbio? Take away that Ponzinibbio loss, which he was winning until he got finished. Wins by submission. Second round submission, scored 85 points, not too good, but he still did make the winning lineup. Matt Brown turning back the hands of time here. The Immortal knocking out McGee. In what round did he knock him out? In the first freaking round. All right, moving on to the core winning lineup. Essentially the same. Brian Battle was in this lineup, but he was not the captain. Almeida was a captain here. Almeida did have that submission win, that first round submission win. It was pretty obvious that once he took down Rosenstruck, it was game over from there, which it was predicted that was going to happen here, and it did unfold. Took him out in the first round. Only difference there, Almeida was in the winning lineup, and he was the captain here. Who was missing? Matt Brown. Matt Brown did not make the winning lineup in that core contest. All right, so going to my lineups here. Remember, this is for that $500 giveaway challenge. As I said before, I was gonna pay up to get those top heavy inside the distance fighters, which was Carl Williams, Olberg, and Almeida. Paid a pretty penny for them, but it did pay off. With the exception of Williams, he just scored pretty low for what we expected here. He only had one takedown, right? We're counting on him. If it was going to go to decision, to have him have way more than one takedown, which that one takedown was pretty, it was like a football takedown, really explosive here. So he didn't score too well. He did win, so could have done better at the captain spot. Almeida, as we all know, won. Gary won. Olberg won. The one that ruined me was Jessica Clark. I did pay up for all these four fighters in my last slot. I did want to get a deal, and Clark was technically a favorite. She was so cheap. I think she was 50 cents. So she was 50. So I did want to get some value there just so the price won't be so damn high. It did not pay off here. She did lose. She got pieced up in that fight. So won $8. At least I cashed out there. That was the logic behind that lineup. Now here in the rare, also in the core, remember the higher tier fighters are way less owned, as we're going to go over in a little bit, which was a kill two birds with one stone type of dealio. So for my rare, I did want to pay up for one of those high tiered fighters with the Almeida. I did want to save money for my second rare. As you all know, that's a tactic I like to use, because you do have to play two rare cards, which I went with Anthony Smith. I felt like I was getting good value there, and I did like him for this fight. He did not pay off there. It didn't even seem like he wanted to be there. I think he's about donezo at this point. Walker seeming to have be developing a fight IQ, which is interesting. So it's gonna be cool to see how Walker does in the future. Alberg paid off. Morano, Soso, 85, not too bad. I did like Silva de Andrade, but he won but scored very low at 56 points. So got all winners with the exception of Anthony Smith, cashed out at $15. So now I want to look at the how I did value wise. Again, I predicted that I was gonna go way over, and that was the case here. Because remember, a lot of the inside the distance equity was at the top of these fighter lineup, so you had to pay a pretty penny for guys like Almeida, Williams, and Olberg. So the rare contest, 25K prize pool, we had 2,341 entries. That gave us the value of our ticket of around $12.80 with that 20% rake. I had a $30 lineup enter here. Core contest, 10,000 prize pool. We had 2,571 entries here. It's about on par with the previous fight nights, and giving us a $4.67 dollar value here with that rake, and I paid quadruple that, $16.45 damn cents. Now I want to look at the ownership breakdown here. This is very important because you want to know how to exploit the field here. With the core contests, like I said before, those high tier fighters are low owned. Carl Williams was the lowest owned fighter here at 16%. That's ridiculous. We had Ian Gary at 18%, Almeida at 18%. So remember, guys, core, it's okay to not get good value here. As you all saw, I paid quadruple there to get these fighters because number one, they're more likely going to win and score the highest, and number two, they're low owned here. The reasons why we tend to avoid these because they tend to be the higher owned fighters, like as we see in this rare contest. It basically gets flipped here. Carl Williams is at 36% ownership. Almeida's at 39% ownership. Olberg at 41%. The reason why we don't want to be picking all these high tier fighters here is there's a very good chance that we will get duplicated here. So remember, core, don't be afraid to pay up for these fighters. Rare, this is where you do have to get different. I'm not saying avoid them because I do think they are required, but take your shots down here because there is efficient money down here, as we saw in this case. Matt Brown was down here, Brian Battle was down here, Lisboa was pretty decent, Mandy Bohm, even though she only scored you 60 points, she was very cheap, so it's very efficient money there. So that's something that you should strongly take into consideration when you're playing these Reignmaker contests. Another thing that I like to look at, and I highly recommend this for all you guys that are playing these sort of fantasy games, is when you have a theory, make sure you're collecting information to prove that theory correct. And the theory I have is any moderate to heavy favorite, which is a 2-to-1 or above favorite, are gonna give you a pretty safe pick for W. And anything below a 2-to-1 favorite, that's pretty much a toss-up. So that's when you want to start shooting for the dogs there. That's when you want to start taking your shots at the dogs. Moderate heavy, this week goes 3 for 3, 100%. So collecting information on these past 3 fight cards, this is giving us a 89% average for moderate heavy win rate. Now for the toss-ups, 2-to-1 and less favorites, we're only at a 33% here. So that's a 1/3 of the fighters tend to win that. So the underdogs seem to be pulling through more than these favorites when it's 2-to-1 or less. Finally, the challenge, the update to that giveaway. This past weekend we started with 406. We risked about 10%, 11.45% to be exact. Only 2 lineups because it was pricey to pay for those lineups here. We won $23, and so we're ending with 383. I lost about 50% of our investment there. It's all good. Like I said, there's variance here. It's going to take a little bit to realize your winnings there. If you're in any way familiar with DFS, it takes time to realize your win equity here. So as long as we keep playing, we're either going to go bankrupt or we're going to hit a top 5 finish, and that's going to skyrocket up. I am done.